I'm known for making a lot of really wild and random Animal Crossing challenges on my island with my villagers. Well, today we're going to do my personal favorite, and we're going to be having a lot of fun with it, because today we are playing Animal Crossing Extreme Musical Chairs. Now sit down and let me explain to you how the rules work. So, I'm going to invite all of the Animal Crossing villagers on my island to a platform. This platform will have 6 different chairs. The first villager to sit in one of these chairs will have the power. And what power will they have? The power to eliminate. Every round, the first villager to sit down on a chair will be able to eliminate one other villager that's playing. The last villager standing will win every single item that's in Nook's Cranny. This game will take skill, friendships, and a bunch of fast feet in order to win. So, without further ado, let's introduce the contestants. The first thing that happened today as I left my house was the funniest thing ever. Tammy and Pom Pom were caught randomly in the middle of the street walking together. Tammy like a few feet behind her, but they were following each other for like a good 15 minutes, and they walked all the way to the town plaza just to hang out. Pom Pom just went straight to sweeping, and Tammy, when she got to the town plaza, immediately started working out. I was so confused what was happening. I don't know if this is like their daily morning routine that I'm not used to, but it was so funny. So I picked up my diner chairs and I decided to make a beautiful platform where all of my villagers can play this game. If you are really in a rush to watch the challenge go down, I'll have timestamps in the description and on the video for you to be able to skip directly to the challenge. But if you want to enjoy the full process like I do, let's get right into it. So I'm building this really cool thing. Feel free to copy it no matter how you want. You can do it yourself. It's really easy. And I got this really cool design that was like a Christmassy design. And I decided to put it around the edge of the border. And it looked really cool. It kind of gave it like a game show vibe. Definitely very musically and very popping with color. I think it's going to be a really cool platform to play this game. I then finished it all up, and now it's time to finally have all the villagers meet in the middle. So it's time for me to introduce to you all the villagers that will be competing in this intense musical chairs challenge that has been done before by me, but this time will be even more fun and higher production. So I put down all of the chairs. It's gonna be diner chairs because I love how they look. They're very fun. Zucker, the first villager that always gets asked to be a part of these challenges, came with Tammy, and they both are here playing the game. Woohoo! Very excited to see how they both do. Let's meet our next villager playing this game, which is Eric. Eric is in a bad mood today while looking at like National Geographic like books. I don't know what that is. Is that like a culinary book? I don't know. There's Pom Pom pondering if she wants to leave the island or not, like she does every other day. It's just so funny. And then we have Eric and Pom Pom chilling. Very cute. I love these two. Now listen to this very funny conversation that's very important. Okay, maybe it wasn't the most exciting conversation ever, but Zucker trying to explain how cars work made me laugh so hard because I can't drive. I haven't driven since the Obama administration when I was in driver's training, so I can't speak. Also, listen to this conversation. It's juicy. As you can see, some juicy drama brewing between Zucker and Diana, which is so interesting because that could definitely play out in the competition. This is how I choose who people vote out when they vote out. Obviously, Diana and Zucker do not like each other. Zucker thinks that Diana always judges him and makes him feel stupid. So we have our first like beef of the competition, which is very exciting. Pom Pom is just isolated on her own, like her own little world right now, like considering leaving the island. We also have Apple joining. She hasn't been in a competition in a few videos, and I'm very excited to see her return and see what she does, because last time we played this game, she was amazing at musical chairs. We also have Marshall, who has hasn't been in too many competitions recently. I think he could be really good. He seems like a really competitive spirit. Right now, he's even listening to his pump-up jam. I'm every squirrel, it's all in me. Speaking of pop stars, we have Pom Pom, who's becoming very good friends with Zucker. These two villagers have been living on my island for a very, very long time and become very good friends. This could be a strong duo, but of course Pom Pom and Apple are the unbreakable BFF duo, so you never know. You never know how strong that bond will actually be. Bonds will be tested, friendships will be destroyed in this amazing, dramatic reality TV Animal Crossing crossover, which I just created. Anyways, we're about to start this competition, and we actually have another conversation between Marshall. This is actually very important because a lot of times we like to see, like, who's friends with who, because that tells us, like, who's probably going to win this game. It's really good to have friends in this game. It's good. It's horrible to have enemies, and it's best to have really strong allies. So Zucker and Marshall are talking about food some more. They definitely bond over that kind of stuff, and it seems like they're hitting it off. So Zucker and Marshall becoming friends out of nowhere. Very good. We have Apple, who's not strategizing at all. She's actually sleeping and dreaming about dresses or something. Anyways, we now have this, like, super interesting cluster of, like, 5 villagers just, like, fishing and, like, waving in weird, like, patterns. It's very odd. And the final conversations I want to show is these two right here. The first one is between Diana and Apple. This is a very unlikely duo, but it seems like Diana is looking to mentor a villager, and it looks like Apple is the perfect mentee. We obviously have a really cool, like, teacher and apprentice relationship going on here. This could be another strong duo. Then over here, we also had Eric and we had Marshall hanging out, and they are bonding over a lot of things too, which puts Zucker and Eric and Marshall in really good spots. They have a lot of friends. But anyways, we have a lot going on now, and the competition has officially started. So, starting right now, the first villager to sit down on a chair will be able to eliminate one other villager. And if they can't pick anyone, they have to eliminate themselves. So, a lot of power here. You want to sit down first. You want to be able to draw that line in the sand and be able to control your fate in this game. Which villager will sit down first? And it looks like Pom Pom's really looking at that chair, but she's also working out. And she's approaching it, and she sat. She sat. Pom Pom has officially sat down, everyone, which means Pom Pom has the power to eliminate one other villager. Now, according to my notes and how I've studied these villagers, we have a lot about Pom Pom that we know. So she loves everyone, and she cannot decide who to pick. So she goes to her best friend Apple, and Apple tells her, "Hey, Pom Pom, we have got to vote out Tammy because no one has any beef or drama with Tammy. She is kind of floating around. No one's ever going to eliminate her. You might as well keep Zucker, who hates Diana, and Marshall, who also has fights with Diana, and have them get each other out. You know what I mean?" So Apple decides to tell Pom Pom, "You got to get rid of Tammy because she's so crystal clear and safe right now." So Pom Pom decides to follow her best friend's word, and she eliminates Tammy. So Tammy is sadly the first villager to get eliminated in this competition, and she will no longer be playing, which means round 2 is about to start with 6 villagers. We have Marshall, we have Eric, Zucker, who are all friends. We have Pom Pom, who is friends with Zucker. We have Apple, who's kind of all alone. We have Diana, who's fighting with so many different villagers right now, and her only real good friend is Eric. But she also has that new mentee, who of course is Apple, which might be the ultimate weapon that Diana has, is her new friendship with Apple. It looks like it's a war between Diana and the other villagers. Who will win? Let's see. Round 2 begins right now. Now, I think it's really important for Diana to be able to sit down and to save herself, frankly, because you never know what's going to happen in this game. So she immediately walks towards a chair, looks at it, but decides to not sit down and continues to move. Maybe she doesn't want to be public enemy number 1 being the person that eliminates all the other villagers. Maybe she wants to keep her hands clean for a little bit, you know what I mean? So let's see who catches the power. Okay, we have Apple and Eric who are hanging out here. It's so cute. They're like just relaxing by the water, while Diana is kind of surveying the area. She's looking at that jukebox. We have Eric who's singing his heart out with Diana right now, which is so cute. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between, how can we be wrong? Anyways, I was gonna make that a whole like 40-second segment of me singing that song, but then I was like, you know what, this is a little bit too much, so then I cut it out. Anyways, Eric sits down first after that beautiful performance of his with Diana. Honestly, like, country superstar legend Eric mixed with like princess of everything Diana. Such an iconic duo. Anyways, I absolutely love that Eric won because I have no idea what Eric is about to do, frankly. What will Eric do? Well, I decided to do some digging, and this is what I found. After deep consideration and talking to his best friend Diana, Diana tells Eric, Pom Pom or Zucker needs to go, Eric. And Eric says he'll talk to his other friends, Marshall and Zucker. Of course, Zucker doesn't want to be voted out, and Marshall wants Pom Pom to go. So after deep consideration, Eric, of course, does what I did not want him to do, and Eric, logically, would vote out Pom Pom. You know, getting rid of some of Diana's power, getting rid of some of Zucker's power, and making himself a way better, stronger player in the game. Now he doesn't have too many enemies, and most of the people in the game are his friend, like Zucker, who he's now hanging out with a ton. And also, Eric is really good friends with, of course, Marshall, and best friends with Diana. So he has all surfaces, every single angle of this game, he has a good ally in. So Eric will probably make it pretty far. Diana, on the other hand, is like public enemy number one. She's at odds with Marshall. Zucker can't stand her, but she does have Apple under her belt, and she has Eric, who's her best friend, who's friends with all of them. So she's kind of trying to manipulate a good spot as well. But of course, Pom Pom, sadly, it's time for her to go, and which makes me really sad because, of course, she's my favorite villager. But the show must go on. We now have 5 villagers remaining. And I don't know who's next. Who do you think is going to be eliminated next? We have Apple, Zucker, Eric, Marshall, and Diana going at it against each other in round 3, which begins right now. So we have a conversation between Zucker and Apple, which is really good because we don't really have too many conversations between Zucker and Apple needs some more friends in this competition. Prompto. So very, very good that, you know, Zucker's getting that friendship with Apple, but it all depends on who sits down first. And Diana is really going around those diner seats really, really often. Like, she is scouting them out while everyone else is kind of doing their own thing. And oh my gosh, Diana sits down on a spot yet again. Diana is a fighter. She is on the top of everyone's like to-go list, and she is destroying this competition by taking out her enemies one by one. Diana is the queen right now, I will say. Like, she is destroying this right now, as well as Eric. Eric is doing it amazing. Eric is doing even better than Diana, but Diana has a lot more odds. Anyways, we have another performance by Diana and Eric, who are singing like completely together now. It's so hard to believe. Come back, baby, please, cause we belong together. Who else am I gonna lean on when times get rough? Who's gonna talk to me on the phone till the sun comes up? Who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better. Oh, baby, baby, we belong together. I'm a peppy villager at heart. Any opportunity I have to sing, you know what I mean? Anyways, Diana talks to her best friend Eric after winning. Diana tells Eric that she wants Marshall or Zucker to leave. She doesn't trust either of them, and she knows that either of them would vote her out if they won. So Eric is upset because those are 2 of his closer friends in this game, but he feels closer to Zucker. So he says, okay, you can get rid of Marshall if you have to get rid of one. It's also important to note that Marshall had big beef with Diana, just as big as the one with Zucker. So Diana votes, and she actually votes to eliminate Marshall. So a little bit predictable there. She had to get rid of her enemies, and now she's becoming friends with Zucker after Marshall leaves. She's very, very smart. She knows what to do to win this game. So now she's trying to get on Zucker's good side, so she has all of her angles covered like how Eric has. Eric is friends with basically everyone that's in this competition except for Apple. And even then, I don't think Apple would vote out Eric. Anyways, round 4 has now begun, and oh my gosh, these stakes could not be higher. There's so many stakes that we could call this a steakhouse, and Diana is running straight for the, oh my god. She is too powerful. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm standing Diana tonight because she has so many enemies in this. Zucker would have eliminated her in a heartbeat, okay? Meanwhile, she has won practically every single round except for the one that Eric won. Kudos to her. So this is very tough for her because, you know, she could get rid of Zucker, but she just became friends with Zucker. So she goes and she deliberates with all 3 of them and has a talk with Zucker first. Zucker says as long as it's not him, he's okay with whoever Diana gets rid of. Apple says that they need to get rid of Zucker because Zucker is friends with Eric. And Eric says that they need to get rid of Apple. Now, Diana thinks about this for a very long time, but she decides to get rid of Zucker because Zucker is friends with Eric and Apple, and it's a conflict of interest for her. If she gets rid of Zucker, Eric is now loyal to her 100%, and Apple is loyal to her 100%. And if anything else, Diana is a mastermind in this game, so she just does the right move, and she gets rid of Zucker. There's also, of course, beef between Zucker and Diana, so that's still living underneath the surface. So I agree with Diana's choice, even though I was kind of rooting for Zucker. It's time for Zucker to go, because Diana won, and that's the rules. So Diana is now talking with Apple, and they might be deciding a plot to get rid of Eric. Uh-oh. Take a listen to this very, very funny conversation between Apple and Diana. Diana is just too powerful in this episode. She really is the star. We'll see if she wins, though. Anyways, we have Diana, Eric, and Apple. And to be honest with you, any of them could still win. Just because Diana's been doing good does not mean that Apple couldn't win right now or Eric could win right now. Anyways, they're walking around. I'm sitting down to encourage them to sit down. And we'll see who actually sits down. You know, it could be really, really, really important who wins this. Because, oh my god, no way. No! Oh my goodness. Diana is just so good at this. She sat down immediately right next to me, and now she gets to decide who to remove. So who does Diana get rid of? Well, okay, she deliberates to herself, and she refuses to talk to either of them. But she sadly chooses, after thinking a long, long time about it, that Apple has to go. Okay, the mentor betrays the mentee. Now, she has such a great connection with Eric outside of this that she could never fully, betray Eric. But she has it in her to betray Apple. So she betrays Apple, and Apple is hereby eliminated in this competition, which means it's now between the two deer. It's between Eric and it's between Diana. One of these two villagers will win. Will Diana sweep it? She has won 4 out of the 5 rounds so far. Eric has won the other one. So either of them could win. It could literally be either of them. There's nothing stopping either of them from taking that seat and winning this competition. Maybe there's an argument that Eric should give up to Diana for taking him this far. But I think in a game you should be competitive and you should still want to win. Even if you've been carried, you should still try to win. So we'll see what happens. There's a conversation between the two of them, like literally seconds before this conversation. could be over. And Eric's talking about how he like fell into a hole and his favorite shirt got ripped up. And Diana's just taking this as an excuse to talk about how she's so stylish. And I think this might be rubbing Eric the wrong way. You know, I'm starting to see Eric be like, I don't think I've ever heard you being called the queen before. And she's like, oh, she's calling her out. Uh-oh, Eric is now on the move ahead of Diana. Will he sit down? They're both right in front of diner chairs. Either of them could take that seat right now and be declared the winner. Anyone. It's all riding on this. Right now, oh my gosh, he's looking. He's getting closer. He's getting closer. He's staring at it. Will he sit? Will he sit? Diana's looking at water. She's not really helping herself out. He put his stuff down and he's going and he went. He sat down. Oh my gosh. Eric has dethroned Diana as the now king of Animal Crossing. Wow. Musical chairs. And the cute thing is she still sat down. Just not on the right item. She sat down on the Christmas colored pattern, not on the chair like she was supposed to. Anyways, I'm very shocked. That means Eric is now the winner and will win every single item that the Nook's Cranny has to offer. So let's go look at the Nook Cranny and let's see what items we can give Eric for the night. So I went straight to the Nook's Cranny and I bought everything I could possibly see. And there's some good little stuff here and there, you know, worth a good amount of money. We have this effects rack. I don't really know what he's gonna do with an effects rack. I don't even know what an effects rack is, but very happy to give it to him. We then have this beautiful antique table, which of course, buy. It's all Eric. Might as well put Eric's name on it right now because it's all for Eric. I bought the rest of those two things too after I left the building. As you will now see, I'm putting all the items. Zucker's watching, very cute. He's just like sitting there watching me place all these random items on the ground for no reason. Anyways, here's the effects rack, the beautiful effects rack we've all been waiting for. So I just put all the items outside his house. Hopefully we'll be able to pick them up. Maybe he can redecorate in some very fun way. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you want to keep watching Animal Crossing challenges, there'll be a link right in front of you with a playlist. I had a lot of fun with this. I didn't really expect it to go the way it did. I'm happy it did go the way it did because I think it really showed off the personalities of all my new Animal Crossing villagers in really fun ways. So I was excited to meet more of Diana and other villagers we haven't really got to see recently. Comment down below what your favorite moment was and recommend to me what other challenges I should do with my villagers. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.